Hello everybody, I hope you're having a super Monday. I know how much we all love Mondays at the start of the week. About a few weeks ago, I did a blog about EMDR to hopefully give you some more information, what to expect in an EMDR session. There's just a lot of information going around about EMDR, so I wanted to clarify that as much as I could to help you make sure you're making the right decision as far as the goals that you want in therapy and if EMDR is the right fit for you. And I said that I would get back to you about the next step. If you find that EMDR would be great to reach the goals that you're wanting to reach in therapy, the next step is then finding a good EMDR therapist and an EMDR therapist that's going to be the right fit for you. So that's what I want to talk about today. And the very first question you want to find out is, what is their experience in training with EMDR? Are they certified? When a therapist goes through what we call the basic training of EMDR, that's exactly what it is. You're learning what the approach is, what the theory behind it is, and practicing the technique. It is a very specific technique. So it's about 2 weekends and 2 separate consult groups that we go through. To be certified, once you learn the basics of EMDR, then you're wanting, not everybody that comes in is going to be the same. Not everybody has their unique experiences, how they cope with those experiences, and the different stages that you might be with your life experiences. So it's so important that as a therapist, you then learn what we call the dance of EMDR. How do you make it flexible and adjust for the person that's sitting right across from you? Not everybody's going to be the same that walks through our door. So the certification process is beyond that basic training, where we continue to receive either one-on-one consult with an approved EMDR consultant or in a group format, and we're practicing EMDR and the application of it with our clients and getting feedback at the same time. So you definitely would just want to find out, what is their training, have they gone beyond their training, and are they certified? The next question that you want to find out is, do they keep up with the skills that they've learned? So, for example, I am a part of the EMDR IA Association, the EMDR International Association, and that association does require that every 2 years we do an additional 12 credits of training, education in an area of EMDR that we want to focus on depending on the clients that each of us focus on. So we each have our own little niche and expertise. So there's so many different what we call protocols to EMDR, and so is your therapist keeping up with those changes and keeping up on those special skills that you could use with EMDR to best help your clients? If you have been diagnosed with complex trauma, a really good question, the next question you want to ask is, do they have experience with complex trauma? It really does take some advanced training and experience and consultations when working with complex trauma. And so if you are coming in to specifically focus on that, that is going to be a really important question. How many clients have they worked with complex trauma? What have been the results? What are the differences compared to other standard protocols of EMDR? The next question I actually just added because a few weeks ago a client came in and asked me this question, which I never would have thought of, and I thought it was a really great question because it shows, I think when you ask this, it gets to a little bit of the personal side of the therapist, and you can kind of read their passion for doing this type of work. And the question was, what made me decide to learn EMDR, and how has it been for me as a therapist? And again, I just thought it was such a great question. For me, the reason that I personally decided to be trained in EMDR is because before I was even in private practice, I was working with human trafficking victims, and as well as other areas. But what I realized was that I really enjoyed seeing the transformation of clients who have experienced trauma and seeing them being able to overcome the effects of trauma within themselves, within their relationships, work relationships, and just their everyday life. And just heard so many great things about EMDR, and once I applied it, it's just amazing. I've been doing it for 5 years now, and you would think that it wouldn't be such a surprise to me every time I see a client's transformation, but I still get chills. It's just been a huge benefit for my clients. I just cannot see not offering EMDR. It's truly amazing. And again, everybody's comes in at a different stage, so it's about adjusting the therapy to each person, and not just stopping at EMDR. Once you've done some EMDR work and things are feeling better for you, now what's next? Do you need communication skills? Do you need assertiveness skills? Do you need to learn how to say no and set boundaries? So EMDR is just a piece of the therapy. It's not all the therapy. Which brings me to the next question that's good to ask. Are there other therapies that you use besides EMDR? And this is going to be very important because, again, everybody comes in with different life experiences, and so they're going to need different approaches. For me, I really enjoy incorporating mindfulness meditation techniques. I feel it goes along really well with EMDR. I feel that they're similar, it's just that EMDR is much more quicker, and mindfulness is not as quick, but it's a tool that you can use to prepare for EMDR, to use while we're doing EMDR, and it's a tool that you take home with you, and you can continue to use it whenever you need it. It's such an important knowledge to have when you're working with overwhelming emotions and things like that. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that if you decide EMDR may be the right fit for you, or if you're still wanting to get an idea, ask if they're willing to do a free consult with you. And when they can show you face to face, you might get a better idea, or show you with a relaxation technique, you might get a better idea. So I hope this helps. If you have more questions, you are welcome to click on my contact form, and I'd be happy to talk with you more. Have a great day.